bladder retract. Alright. This was the wrong tray. I guess they picked the wrong one. It should have been the other one with the retractors. But they didn't know until they opened it. Okay. Now getting there, is there going to be bowel in the way? So what can we get the bowel out of the way with? Retract it? Yeah, we can retract the stuff. Definitely. Okay? Now, a good way to retract a lot from a bowel and stuff, especially during exploratory laparotomies, is going to be the laps, laparotomy sponges. Your doctor will wet them, bring them out slightly, or actually you'll have to do this. Get them so they're not too wet and they're not too dry. Pretty much, here comes that word, moist. One moist lap, okay? And it should be warm because our body temperatures are what?
Warm.
What temperature?
Warm.
88.6, right? Right? Around that. So our irrigation also must be warm. Your doctor will literally shove these into areas, shoving the bowel back, and the lap's going to kind of keep it in place. You could also add a retractor behind it to keep it there for sure, especially if it's stubborn and wants to keep creeping back. Anytime something goes in the body, we got to make sure we do it. Keep the count, okay? So what you want to do is explain to your nurse that there's one of so-and-so inside. And also count it out so that these counts can remain the same. If this changes, at least you can say, oh yeah, there's one in the cavity. Put it in somewhere, like over here it says in the cavity, or you can put in the cavity 2 laps. Okay? So then that way the nurse knows when she's counting, why do we only have 7? Oh, there's 8, 9 over here. Where's, oh, keep on it. Okay. That way you can identify where it's at. So please let your nurse know as soon as something goes in the body. Okay? It's one of those, it's not mandatory, but you should do anyway. This is mandatory. You can go to jail for this. The other one, they're going to say you need better practice. It's better to do it this way. So definitely count in. I see nurses say pack. Just make sure you count them as long as I have this, I'm good to go. I still yell it out. 2 cavities inside, just so I can remember there's 2 inside the cavity. Okay? So make sure you have laps, and that's why you see an abundance of laps here. You see 2 packs, definitely for a C-section. Alright, so we're inside. Everything's clear. We've gotten to the uterus. The doctor next is going to make the incision into the uterus. Again, what blade can you use again? 10 blade. You can also use scissors, those heavy Mayo scissors, to cut the uterus open also. Okay. Now, knowing that there is a baby in a fluid sac that's in there, right? If the mother didn't already rupture her, oh, my water broke. Okay. There's going to be a lot of amniotic fluid. So what do you think you have ready to
Full suction?
Suction, which one?
Full suction?
Full suction, why? Lots of fluid. And it's also a protective sheet so that it doesn't suction more than it needs to, like the baby's lip, the fallopian tube. So a full suction is probably going to be best at this point. Okay, very good, full suction. Yes?
Can you use the ink cover or no?
You can use the ink cover. How do you use the ink cover at that bit? Anybody? Put a lap. Again, put the lap first. The lap works as a filter. Right? There's a non-stick filter to that. Okay. Now the baby needs to come out. Right? Here's some important things about cervical tech. You must know these, or you just step on out and never go back until OB. When doing a C-section, you must have these items. Okay? So again, if you're setting up for C-section and you don't have them, and your doctor comes in, just fire yourself. Okay? It's very important. Everything else you guys kind of understand, that comes at specialty of the baby. Remember, the baby's coming out, healthy or not, fetal demise or not. We need to make sure that any baby that comes out, we clear its airway. That's one of the first things you need to be ready with. Ready to clear the airway. So what are we going to have? Anybody see anything on the Mayo stand that's going to help with that? The baby bulb syringe. Your aseptal syringe is for irrigation. Okay? It is not for suctioning things out of the body. It is for irrigation. So we don't use an aseptal syringe. And it's huge. Alright, unless the baby comes out like 20 pounds and you've got big nostrils or something. No. We use a regular baby bulb syringe. Okay? Again, do you suction the stuff out of the baby?
No.
Remember, we don't do anything to the patient. We don't do anything. In the years of practice, you might be asked to. Okay? It's one of those things, know where you're at in what situation. Know that you guys have a practice, right? You guys got a scope of practice. You try to adhere to that. But when it comes to life-saving, guys, do what you need to do. Especially if the doctor says, help. You don't just go in there and say, I got this, and then do it. Right? The doctor's like, I need you to do this at this moment. Then that's where we want to consider what we need to do. Now, by all means, try not to, don't wait for that moment. Because I don't want you to be like, oh, just do what you need to do. And the thing is, you know that the doctor and the assistant are there that do those things. Okay? All right. So you got to be there with the baby bulb syringe. While you're handing that, the next thing you might want to do is lay out a towel. Okay? Most of your true C-section packs are going to have the baby bulb syringe. We're also going to have a baby blanket. So you can lay that down, move your Mayo stand out the way, and there's another reason why we move it out the way too. Bring in that blanket so the baby can be placed still on the mother, so that doctor can go ahead and aspirate. So have a baby blanket. If you don't, make sure you have extra towels so that you can do that. So yeah, make sure you have that. Some other things that you want to look out for, be vigilant. Making sure you see the amniotic fluid, make sure there's no meconium. You guys, a little bit of white substance or stuff that might be in there that can be fecal matter, can be other things that can lodge into the baby's airway. So it's good to know and see that. So you might ask for a better suction than just that. Okay, you guys have seen on the slides, there's a Healy suction, which is made to actually slide down the nasal or oropharynx to suction out anything that you might have seen, or possibly see the fluid that the baby may have swallowed. So definitely look out for these things. Again, like I tell you, the surgical tech is always vigilant and knows what everybody's doing and knows the situations that are happening so they can jump on it. Once again, guys, when you're here setting up, know the basics. Know that you might not get that experience here and you might get it out there in clinicals. You guys are not alone. Warn you guys again, you're not there to perform the surgery by yourself. So please, coming out of a lab these days, don't feel like, oh my goodness, I don't know how to do a DSC, I'm going to fail while I'm out there. Not true. You guys are going to get attached to a team that already knows how to do this. Okay? They know also when you feel comfortable to come in and be like, go for it. We'll say, oh, you look ready, go for it. You told me what you know, go for it. Okay, but if you're like, that's a bad thing too, because they might not welcome you ever back in. Well, you don't know what you're doing in here, step aside. You guys should never go in with the fear, which I don't know what I'm doing. Okay? Definitely. Hey, I can set up, I can be a surgical tech. I'm just gonna need help doing the C-section because this is the first one I've ever done. Okay? I did it in school, but not really. I have no patience. I had half of the instrumentation. So I have an idea. So hopefully as you guys are going, oh, okay. You guys are there just like, what? What is this? What? This is like the movie Aliens and it just pops out. Okay, so that's the knowledge I want you guys to take out of this, okay? I need you to get experience, to come in here, open. Again, it doesn't have to be a perfect C-section. It doesn't have to be a perfect DSC. You have to kind of gear towards it, okay? So I've also listed the surgeries, if you guys haven't seen, of your midterm cases. So when you guys get a chance, those are the ones I'm definitely giving you guys. It could be out of the entire book, and it should be out of the entire book from chapter 12 and 13. No, sorry, 14 and 15.
14 and 15.
Yeah, 14 and 15. But I want to make sure that you guys don't stress out too much and you at least get that done. Okay? You know, it doesn't require that you guys do each and every surgery, but also we're not here Monday through Friday. So we're only focusing on these, and I'm getting you guys the important ones that you are more than likely going to do out in the field. Myomectomy, you might do one or two, but all you guys are not going to start. Well, all you guys are going to possibly do a hysterectomy of some sort. All you guys are possibly going to do a cholecystectomy. Okay, hernia, so and so. So we focus on those guys. It doesn't mean you just study that. Please don't do that. I hate giving that because one of you guys is just going to study that. Might not. Okay. And again, that's on you because that's what you guys want to learn. But it's there so you guys can come in and be ready anyways. back to the C-section. We just delivered the baby. The baby is making sure he stays alive, right? But the doctor is also making sure that we clear the airway. So we have, again, the baby bulb syringe, baby blue, baby green. They're different sizes. The blue one is a little bit smaller now. The green one is usually ENT. The blue one is usually baby blue for babies. Okay? Another thing that you want to have ready, and the next item you want to have ready is